Hi everyone, it's Keira and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video. So we know that since the departure of Daniel Ricciardo from Red Bull Racing in 2018, Red Bull have had a very tricky situation with that second seat and actually finding a driver which fits the bill and therefore helps them to fight for that Constructors' Championship. So we know that we have got the third driver since Daniel Ricciardo in the seat, which is Sergio Perez, a very experienced Formula 1 driver stepping into that top team to see whether he can help the team out and be that second driver that they have been longing for. We know from looking at Alex and Pierre's situation, Red Bull are extremely cutthroat, and we know even before that, Red Bull are extremely cutthroat with their decisions. So I'm going to have a look at Checo's situation probably about halfway through the season now and just see whether he has actually done enough to keep his seat and be re-signed for 2022. Before I get into this video, if you do enjoy it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. But let's just get into it. So as I said, we had a couple of drivers after Daniel Ricciardo. We had Pierre Gasly for half a year before he got replaced by Alex Albon for a year and a half, who he then subsequently got replaced by Sergio Perez. We saw the situation with Pierre and everyone was like, this will never happen to Alex. The same thing happened to Alex. So we've got Sergio Perez in now. Will the same happen to Sergio? Well, let's have a little look at his results and let's see whether, you know, he can really deem being kicked out or whether we think he's doing enough. Okay, so first I think we should take a look at qualifying performances. Shout out to Alex Does F1 Stuff, who has given me some of these stats for this because I could never work this out myself. So some of them are Alex's. If they're wrong, they're just blame them ones on me. So firstly, let's take a look at Perez's average. So his average after 8 rounds of the championship is that he is qualifying 0.601 seconds off the pace of Max Verstappen, which actually looking at it, you'd think that it was a lot closer. I feel like we've kind of, when we think about the qualifying situation with Sergio Perez, we think that he is closer than that. So I was quite surprised when I saw that, especially when you compare it to Alex Albon, who in comparison was between 0.5 and 0.7 seconds off the pace of Max Verstappen. So when we look at that, I think we always remember Alex as being somebody which was so much further off the pace, but actually very, very similar, if not the same. And if we take Pierre Gasly into the situation, he was actually only 0.562 on average off the pace of Max Verstappen. So technically he was lower than both of those drivers on average. But I think one of the big things is you could visibly see Pierre and Alex were both, you know, really struggling in their car, whereas Sergio isn't struggling as much, or even if he is, he's not letting the media and letting maybe Red Bull even know that as well. But I honestly think that he's not struggling. I just think that the times in comparison, even though they're the same, it just doesn't feel like the same situation. Now, moving on to race day, I think one of the big things within the situations, which is why they are different, is because Pierre and Alex just seem to have struggled so much on race day. And we know that Pierre and Alex both made quite a few mistakes. We saw that Pierre crashed so many times. Alex again also crashed quite a few times as well. Pierre was probably the one that was most known for, you know, making the mistakes and costing the team money, and I think that's one of the big things which was probably knocking their confidence the most. Whereas Checo, I can't even recall an incident he's had with Red Bull this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't think he's had any incidents this year. And I think that's one of the big things, you know, as much as they're probably all pretty much around a similar pace off Max Verstappen, and Sergio is technically the one that probably should be a bit closer because he's got that 10-year in Formula 1 experience. It seems that the damage that was, you know, psychologically being on Alex and Pierre was from the accidents they were having and, you know, the knockbacks that they were having maybe within Red Bull. And I think it's difficult because I think Drive to Survive really gave us a different perspective on the Alex and Pierre situation when they were in Red Bull, and we kind of saw a more of a toxic side. I think it really turned a lot of people off Red Bull, and obviously we don't know whether that's going on or not within Red Bull at the moment with Sergio Perez because we haven't got Drive to Survive yet. We'll have to wait till next March to see that. But I feel like the accidents that they were having is something that again costing Red Bull a lot of money, which they have the money but they don't want to be spending on new front wings, new chassis, new suspensions, everything like that. Sergio is not making any of those mistakes. Yeah, he might not be on the pace yet, but he's not making them mistakes, you know, and he's not costing money, and I think he's got a more positive outset on this whole situation. So overall within Red Bull, I feel the dynamic is a lot nicer this year, and I feel like we've got a much better situation going on and everything seems a lot happier. I don't know whether one of the main reasons in this might be because they have got the upper hand on Mercedes this year, and obviously they are going faster this year and they are in more of a position where it's not as vital to have Checo up there, because again, he is up there, but he's probably up there. He's more up there than I would say Alex and Pierre were. They were probably more like 5th and 6th, so they weren't quite in the fight. But I think if Max was in a position where he was a couple of years ago, where Mercedes were clearly the faster car, would Red Bull then have a different approach on Checo because he isn't quite there on the pace, or would they be the same? You know, that's I think another thing we've got to factor in, is Red Bull are so much stronger this year, so it's not as crucial to have Checo right up there as it probably would have been last year or the year before. And in terms of the main man himself, Helmut Marko, I don't think I've seen any comments from him or any negative comments from him towards Sergio Perez, which is a massive thing because we know that that guy likes to open his mouth left, right and centre about absolutely anything. But I really don't think I've seen anything so far that really indicates that he is unhappy or that he is seeing anything that he shouldn't. And I think with Sergio, Red Bull are really giving him more time to develop. And I don't know whether that's because of any other given reason, or whether it's just because they've realised the mistakes they made with Pierre Gasly, definitely, and maybe even Alex Albon also. Obviously I know Alex had, you know, a year extra than what Pierre did, so I don't know if it's because they're maybe learning now that they need to give their drivers a bit more time to get kind of, you know, get into that car. But Sergio, I definitely think has done well. I think the first couple of races he struggled, but I think from kind of Monaco onwards he's really shown his pace. Obviously got that amazing win in Azerbaijan, and I think he's now kind of getting to grips with it and knowing what he needs to do with that car. And I think that Red Bull are on this up, and with Valtteri on a decline, I think, you know, Checo is more crucial now than ever to secure Red Bull that championship. So coming back to the main question, which is, do I believe that Checo deserves his seat for 2022, or do I think that he should probably get replaced with somebody else? I absolutely think he should get this seat and keep it for 2022. You know, I feel the dynamic, as I said earlier, has really changed within Red Bull. I feel like they are really showing that they are more of a team this year, and they are giving him more of an opportunity and just more support, I think, than maybe Alex and Pierre got behind them. So I really am excited to see this partnership go forward. I don't think Red Bull want to switch up again. You know, it really has been detriment towards their Constructors' Championship because they've had to keep swapping in and out these drivers since Daniel Ricciardo left. So I definitely feel they want to keep that stability if they have got it, and I think they've definitely got it in Checo. But one thing I want to see is not Checo sitting there being a second driver. I want to see next year him fighting up there with Max Verstappen, because I know he's got it in him. Okay, Checo was one of the drivers that got me into Formula 1 when I first started watching. Checo was someone that I instantly was drew to, and I really wanted to win. So he's one of my favourite drivers, so I absolutely want to see him fighting up there with Max Verstappen to prove that he can fight to be that #1 driver. Whether he'll get it or not is another story, but just to be up there fighting with Max is 100% what I think I want to see and what we all want to see. So the answer to my question is I believe he should keep his seat for 2022. So there we have it. That is it for today's video, and those are my thoughts and statistics on the situation at hand with the Red Bull second seat. Thanks again for Alex's insights. He is amazing and all of the stat man and all that sort of stuff. So if you do want to know more about the logistical and statistic side of Formula 1, do check out Alex's channel. I'll be sure to leave the link in the description box. But yeah, do let me know in the comment section below what you think about the situation at Red Bull. Do you think they should keep Checo? Do you think maybe they should get Pierre Gasly back up there? Do you think Alex Albon deserves another shot? Do you think they should get somebody else random? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again soon. Bye!